Hello, everybody, and welcome to Left of Meta. This series is meant to highlight decent to good sets that can be good for newer players due to the ease of acquiring them compared to the more meta sets like Reliquin, Sororia, Yolnahkrin, or Olorime, all of which come from high-end trials. Before we get into the actual sets, let's go over a couple of ground rules. These sets have to be from Overland, PvP, base game dungeons, or be a crafted set. If they're PvP or Overland, they have to be relatively cheap on guild stores. A full set should cost roughly less than 20k. If they're crafted, they have to be 6 traits or less, and they can't be overly common, but they'll be tested along some more meta sets. For stamina, those sets will be the Leviathan set from Crypt of Hearts, and the Maelstrom Bow. For Magicka characters, that will be Mother's Sorrow from Deshaan, and the Maelstrom Staff. For healer, that will be the Spell Power Cure set from White Gold Tower, and for tank, that will be the Ebon Armory set from Crypt of Hearts. This video includes the Veladreth Monster set, found in Cradle of Shadows. And with that out of the way, let's roll into today's set. This week's set is called Viper's Sting. It is found in the Fungal Grotto dungeons in the base game in Stonefalls. This set grants the following benefits. At 2 items, it gives 657 weapon critical. At 3 items, it grants 1,096 maximum stamina. At 4 items, it grants 657 weapon critical. And at 5 items, when you deal damage with a melee attack, you deal an additional 6,400 poison damage over 4 seconds. This effect can occur once every 4 seconds. So this is a very good starting set. It has the same 2, 3, and 4 benefits as Hunding's Rage, which are all good. And as it's 5, it gives a poison dot when you deal direct melee damage. As a side note, direct melee damage is just light attacking every 4 seconds, which you should be doing anyways. And 6,000 damage every 4 seconds isn't anything to scoff at. I mean, granted, it's no Reliquin, but nothing is Reliquin except Reliquin. They've released, 3 trials since Reliquin came out, and nothing has beaten it yet? Long story short, Reliquin is insane, and this is good. Do I leave that in? I really don't know if I can leave that in. So, the primary downside to this set is that it requires a direct damage melee attack to trigger. Which means you have to actually be keeping an eye out on maintaining its uptime. You've got to make that melee attack every 4 seconds, or you're basically getting less damage out of this set. And speaking of damage, let's talk about that for a minute, because, while 6,000 damage isn't nothing to scoff at, it still does not add up very fast. This is a good damage set, but it's not an amazing one, and it'll probably only add about 2k DPS in grand total to your rotation. Which is only a lot when you're new to the game. But I do think for your first dungeon set, you could do a lot worse than Viper's Sting. All in all, I think this is a good set. It's relatively easy access. I mean, Fungal 1 farms aren't even that hard as a new player. And as you get better at the game, if you still want this set, you can almost certainly solo this dungeon. And it's free damage for what you're already probably doing as a Stam DPS. It's high enough damage to be a decent proc set, but low enough that it's not, going to beat out a lot of the later game sets. And you can get some pretty good uptimes for front barring this. You don't need to have it on your back bar, which frees you up to run a weapon like the Maelstrom Bow or the Master's Bow for even more damage. All in all, good set. Probably better for newer players than older ones or returning players. But it'll certainly do the trick. Next week begins our monster set month, where we will be talking about 2-piece monster sets and some other sets that you might run to replace them for the entirety of May. Week 1 will be a set called Slime Craw, so I will see you all then, and until then, good luck, have fun, and don't die.